between Osage and Shotmaker Pro Shop. The King of the Hill will be coming up a little later on. This is Tim Alderson leading us off against Keith Nussbaum. Tim opened really strong with a 235. Came back to earth a little bit of 191 in his second game. And an average for the season of 207. He's getting 18 pins from Keith.
First two-hander we've seen this year. He starts the ball way inside, goes way outside, and drips the 410 out. Nice break to start out.
Now over to Keith, a familiar face to our BCSN bowling regular viewers.
He has got his work cut out for him tonight. His team is down 44 pins in the team game, plus he's giving 18 pins handicap, so...
Not a lot of margin for error, I guess.
Oh my goodness. You do not see Keith Nussbaum with too many 5 pins in the pocket. The ball just usually drives harder than that, but that ball just stopped on him.
He couldn't believe it when it happened, but he's not a guy that's going to show a ton of emotion. And actually, as I say that, tosses a towel down in disgust.
Yeah, he's a little disgusted right now, but what happened there was the ball started to come in, it deflected around the 5 instead of driving through, and you just don't see a ball from Keith Nussbaum, did you? I think he may have gotten a little bit of carry down in the oil. The oil moves as the players are bowling. He's got a little bit of carry down there. He's going to have to change his strategy just a little bit. His team came in on a roll, and Osage is taking that away from him. They seem to like to spoil a roll.
That's more vintage Keith.
We saw this a lot in high school. When the team was just dominating the first 2 games, and then the lights went on, and the other team said, "No, it's our turn." We see 10 back there.
Tim does have 1 300 game. Needs 114 more to catch up to Keith. Just can imagine the two-legged bowler inspired by Jason Belmonte.
Goes high. Does he get the break? No, ball drove too hard. Here's the 410. Second 410 we've seen today. See if going to stay with the same ball. So my guess is he'll look at the 4 pin, just take the 1. But he wanted to try and make it, just barely touch the 4 pin on the left. Try to slide it over, but safe play. Kind of nodding his head like, okay, I think I know what happened there. Don't see too many two-handed players, although they're a lot more in vogue than they used to be.
Is bowling like all other sports where it's all kind of cyclical?
Yeah, I believe so. Being a traditionalist, I'm hoping the two-handed goes away, but there are going to be young players like him that follow Jason Belmonte, and they think this is the way to go. So.
Yeah, I mean, it does look kind of cool.
It looks cool. The pins fly around a lot. And to be perfectly honest, we see an excellent shot here. I like the way he strikes the pose at the end. I'm against it. My personal opinion, I just don't like it. But the other side of the argument, if it's so great, how come they're not dominating? Yeah, you have a Jason Belmonte who's doing really well.
Sure.
1 or 2 others but they're not winning everything in sight. You know, the more traditional one-handers are still doing the majority of the winning. So. Keith gets back on there.
2 in a row for him. matter with age. His high average all time, 250, and that came at the age of 52.
Which he reached not too long ago, because I believe he's 4 years younger than me.
He's like a fine line, Keith Nussbaum. After leaving that one pin on his first throw of this game, may call for a fine port.
There you go. Maybe a little chunk of cheese to go with 10 back.
Gobble, gobble. Chirp, chirp, yodel, yodel. Woo! I can't say yodel twice in succession. Very quickly.
Yeah.
I just don't have it, but Keith sure does.
And, it's going to see Keith can build on his 240 start and try to steal the team game here. Tim went high in this lane last time off the split. See what kind of adjustment he makes here. Like rips him out of there.
Now, whatever he did, got it right.
Those are the kind of shots you see with the two-handed player. The pin's flying around with all that power. And I'll tell you what, he's with a little bit of seen at Belmonte. Tim is doing a pretty good job of imitating it.
What is it about the motion, the use of the second hand that generates the power?
I believe, and since I've never tried it, that hand pulling back as the ball is coming off, I think is helping it, although I've been told, ouch, and that's where the power hurt. Ball drove too hard. So I've been told that the hand is off the ball, but right there, it looks like it's still there. Almost pulling back, I guess, as the other one's going, or whatever. It's, aiding in creating revolutions. Not sure if I'm saying it right.
I don't do science, but I understood.
And, nice cover on the spare there. He switched to what looks like a plastic ball. See him talking with his teammate Joni, and she saw something on that ninth, and all I saw was the ball driving too hard, but that was a great shot. Just sometimes that power will cause the ball to drive through and chop the fire off the nine. Keith a chance to take a big lead here. Well, he carried. He got it in a little bit. I think he knew it when he let go of it.
But again, not too pleased with himself.
He knows he doesn't have a lot of room for error this game with all the pins he's got to make up. The ball didn't quite finish hard enough. See him switching to a clear plastic ball. Just think for the people at home watching, even though he switches to the clear plastic ball, he does everything else the same. Same release, everything else. Lets the plastic ball do the work. I was hoping those faces in the crowd would stick around. It looked like we had a packed house.
Kind of hoping they'd reach into their pockets or purses or whatever and pull out a Keith Nussbaum head, but too much to ask, I guess.
Yeah, that's...
A bridge too far.
We can only take so much. Got it? Carries one. All right. A little emotion from Keith there. I don't think he was expecting that one to carry. It's a little bit later than I thought it would be. See him strike the pose. He liked it. And the ball comes in light. Hit pin goes to the wall. Wipes out the bucket. He wants to get back to that roll-off. He made it with a different team last year. Didn't make it to the finals. He wants to get back there again. Give it another shot.
Tim Alderson now at UT, studying math and physics there.
That's 10 back.
I'm sure he could tell you all about the rotations of the second hand.
The problem is I have never understood it, so physics was not my strong point. You watch the hands come through. Right hand, even though he has an open-handed release there, it's just so tough.
I took physics in high school, which I thought sounded interesting until the first day of class, and I realized it was basically math.
I took physics in high school too, and it was probably the best hour of sleep I had ever.
Well, it was great because on days we didn't have lab right after, we just played euchre for an hour and then went to our next class.
And back. Had such a nice teacher, but he was boring as anything. I don't know if there's a way of making physics exciting, so as we see the replay here, ball gets level right, charges back, and 10 pins straight back.
Well, you know, Tim may have something to say about that, making physics interesting.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, he's doing physics research at UT right now. Go back to Keith.
Has to start striking. Like said, laid off again. He's having trouble with that lane. Ball's not making the turn. He's either got to get the ball a little bit further right or just get a little more rotation somehow, which I don't like playing with your hand position that much.
Becoming increasingly agitated with lane 38.
That has actually been his bugaboo for a few years now on this show. It's usually 10 pins. You can't carry it at 10, but today he's having trouble even hitting the pocket. 2, 4, 5. Got a hope to shot it. Nice cover. Sometimes I get spoiled watching players like Keith. I don't talk about the chops because they're just such good spare shooters, but chop is always a possibility with a spare like that.
That look on his face after he picked up that spare, just kind of a little shake of the head. Totally vexed by lane 38.
He actually still has 249 in the wood.
It's been awfully consistent tonight so far. First two games went 248, 246. Not bad.
Started to feel the frustration a little bit, knowing that his opponent is full as well. This is usually where Keith comes up with the big game, but the 10 pin's not cooperating with it. See if Tim can keep it going here.
On a double.
Kind of, like I said, we've talked so much about different sports tonight, but you see how smooth and effortless he gets all this power. It reminds me of the first time I went to watch the pro golfers up in Birmingham Hills, and how effortless the swing was, and the ball took off like it was shot out of a cannon. See the pins jump around there, just the effortless way they create so much power. Right? This is the same thing. You know, it's not a lot of herky-jerky motion, not a big high backswing. And he's not that big a gentleman either.
No.
He's kind of slight.
First time I saw professional golf in person, the thing that really struck me, not just how everything took off, but how high everything was. And I've never been, I'm an above average golfer, but I don't hit the ball very high. I never have, and I was so envious of Tom Watson, who's not a big guy.
Right.
Just these soaring, high arcing shots with every punch.
Rips the fly out of there.
That's 4 straight for Tim Alderson.
First hand ball. We have the turkey and the hand ball. that. Like, man, that sounds so good. Ball change, and it overreacted on it. Keith needed to try something. He needed to just get his own point, but went to the ball change, and that ball hooked a little bit early. Gotta hang on. No, he had it solid all the way. He walked away from it. I thought it was in disgust, but I knew he had it.
I thought so too at first, maybe it's just because we've seen that more than once tonight on this lane.
Going back to the original ball. That puts 10 back. It's a 10th frame already.
And this is the lane you want if you're Keith in the 10th frame.
And go to 227. Tim is already in the 190s plus his 18 pins. He just pretty much has to show up in the 10th. And they're going to get a sweep. That's just amazing. Win 1 point in 2 games and then get all 6 in the last game. Very nice job of playing spoiler. But that's going to hurt Shotmaker's bid to get to the top 4.
Keep trying and close on a high.
Just lost that one. 223. Possible 247 game. So, 94, 717. He's going to lose 2 out of 3. That doesn't happen too often. See the pins flying around.
There's that Dutch baby.
That's what kids want to do. They want to see the pins fly around like that. I just want to see it fall down. I don't care.
It's an oven-baked high-rise pancake, for those that don't know.
Yeah. Yes, I was going to say you probably have to explain that to people at home.
Original Pancake House on Central Ave, the only place I know of in the area you can get one. It's totally worth it. Unpaid testimonial.
It sounds like
might I add. There's your side of bacon. What an impressive performance from Tim Alderson down the stretch.
And he had the 1-9 count in the middle. He had the split in the second frame, but this could easily be, what, 9-bagger? Somebody put all those together one time, and I can't remember what 9 was.
He's got the high-rise pancake. He's got the side of bacon. He just needs potatoes to go with it. Got him.
Great game. Great finish. Last for 247.
Didn't even need the handicap pins. So 247 to 223 win for Tim Alderson. A clean sweep for Osai. King of the Hill coming up next.
What's up with your car?